sis, we are not trying to go back to our 20s. We're trying to thrive in our 40s and beyond. Let me shift that. We are thriving in our 40s and beyond. This body has been through some things and it deserves better than starvation diets and comparison traps. Real talk. So, hey, sis, I'm Loretta. I'm your reset coach for women 40 plus. I'm a certified health and menopause coach, and I help women just like you create simple, powerful habits that support your hormones, energy, and peace of mind without extreme diets or exhausting workouts. So listen, at 55 plus, I've navigated this journey myself. I've gone through getting this, frozen shoulder, brain fog, and now honestly, I walk in freedom, strength, and clarity. So today, why am I here? I'm here to help you do the same. So listen, before we get started, if you're a woman 40 or over and you're tired of chasing that old body and you're ready to feel strong, confident, and healthy right now, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And because I share content weekly that meets you exactly where you are. And as you're enjoying this video, make sure you hit the like button as well. So let's talk about this healthy versus hottie. Okay? Hottie mindset, because honestly, it's all over the place. So we're women over 40, and a lot of us have been, spent decades being told our worth is tied to our looks. That super thin is where it's at, that you have to be young, and as we've gotten older, the wrinkles, we got the wrinkles, we got the stretch marks. And I'm here to tell you, we don't need to be hiding that. We have lived lives, and with those lives have come some wrinkles, stretch marks, and wisdom. Okay? So listen, somewhere along the line, this lie has just crept in. If I could just look like I did at 25, then I finally feel good again. That's not what we're doing. And a lot of times, a lot of us in our 20s, we weren't living a healthy life anyway. So we're not trying to go back to that, okay? We need to be where we are, who we are now, right? In the season that we're in. So when I say that, I'm saying this season should be all about honoring who we are now. And I mean it. And it's not like I said about you just saying, just let everything go. No, I'm saying let's lean into the season that we're in. So let me explain. So we are women over 40. Many of us are in different phases, like we're in perimenopause or we're in postmenopause, and we're at different levels, different stages, and we're going through different things because our bodies are shifting. So what we need to do, instead of focusing on, if I could just be 25 again, what we need to focus on is what is going to work for us in this season. So I'm going to break down what's going to work for us in this season. Number one, we need to move our body daily. Okay? But now when I say that, I'm going to add something with grace and purpose. Okay? What I mean by that, forget the punishing workouts. I know, I've been there, did that. And I know I would leave it was a badge of honor for me to leave out feeling whipped. But at this age, that's not what's going to be beneficial for us, okay? So we need to think of functional movement. We need to think of things like steady state cardio, things like walking, right? So walking can serve a dual purpose because, of course, it gets us out there. We're moving, no fancy equipment necessary. You just out there walking. And also, a lot of times especially if you go outside, it can help you clear your mind because you're just, the everything, the birds chirping, everything. It can serve dual purpose. Just get out there and walk. Strength train. That's going to help us stay independent, okay? Because I don't know about you, but I know me, I want to keep traveling, I want to keep doing things. So therefore, strength training for me is a non-negotiable, because I know it's going to help me continue to maintain the muscle that I have, and also allow me to be more independent as I get even older. Stretch your bodies, okay? We don't want to be all tight, and we need to stretch, because that allows us, our bodies to really just thrive. Real talk. And so listen, if you're navigating, and if you're a woman over 40, you probably are navigating perimenopause, postmenopause. Let me tell you, movement helps to regulate your mood, balance blood sugar, even improve sleep, because I'm hearing, that's one of the things that I hear more often than not, how women are waking up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And so I'm here to tell you that can help. Okay? And what else? Stubborn belly fat. We all know it's like it came out of nowhere overnight, right? But walking, it'll help that. So we're not working out because, oh my God, I hate my body, so I gotta work out. No, let's change our mindset. We're doing it because we get to do it, right? We're able to do it, and we love our bodies. And so we're going to get out there and we're going to move our bodies. Now, number 2, eat like you love yourself, not like you're just trying to shrink. What I'm saying here is, so many times we focus so much on the scale that we are not really focused on eating in a way that's sustainable for our day to day. So what I want you to do is unlearn that diet culture garbage. Real talk. Instead of that, just focus on eating whole foods, real foods. Decrease your dependence on processed foods. That would be a game changer, because so many people they're doing things that are just not sustainable, and not, sometimes not even healthy. They're cutting carbs out completely, living on smoothies. Now, I drink smoothies, but this is a difference when people, that's all they're drinking, okay? They're fasting all day, and then they're so hungry they're binging at night. That's not helping us. What we need to focus on is fueling our bodies with what is good for it. What does your body need? So now, again, as we are women over 40, we are losing muscle mass. Protein helps us to maintain that muscle. So as we add protein to our diet, add fiber so that it helps with our digestion, and also helps with our cravings as well. Again, I'm going to say it again. Add colorful whole foods to your diet. And when I say diet, I'm not talking about the kind of diet where doing all the fad diets, but I'm saying your daily intake. Add colorful whole foods. When you have whole foods, real food, you don't have to check the label. It's real wholesome food. And listen, you want to have food that tastes good, things that you're going to enjoy eating, right? Because that's going to help you feel good. And now, number 3, and this one, sis, is a big one. I need you to manage your stress like your life depends on it. Why? Because it does. Because it does. You can do all the things, eat all the right foods, lift weights, but if your body is in a constant stress, like a constant fight or flight mode, that's not healthy. Okay? Your cortisol levels will be high, and that cortisol, remember, that's your stress hormone. So if that's high, it's not going to be healthy for you. In fact, that contributes to the belly weight that is increasing. And so listen, cortisol can be triggered by like just being overwhelmed, lack of sleep, poor boundaries. Like you just never say no. So you're always doing stuff that you have no time for. And even unresolved grief can contribute to that. So listen, as I already said, if you don't address it, it can lead to weight gain, or blood sugar issues, anxiety, and so much more. So listen, what does stress management look like for you? It looks different for all of us. But what I will say is, it's not so much that you have to say, oh, I gotta, get myself into the spot. That's cool. That's nice. But that's not, for most of us, our everyday. What we can do now is, learn to say no without explaining yourself, right? Have boundaries. Make sure you take time out for yourself. Start off with 10 minutes so that you could just have that time to just relax yourself, even especially before you go to bed. And I can't stress it enough. Go outside for a walk. If you can't go outside, you do what you can to get your body walking. If it's parking far, if it's, just taking a 10-minute walk after a meal, whatever you can do, but get yourself walking. And sis, protect your peace because it's sacred. Our peace is important to us, and we need to protect it. And however we need to do so. And listen, I gave you 3 things that you can implement now, 3 healthy habits. And they may sound simple, but listen, they're powerful. And listen, once you start living this way, you'll stop needing to recover, bounce back, because your day to day will be more peaceful, right? And you'll be eating the right foods that'll support what's going on in our bodies now as women over 40. So listen, we're building something better. We're not trying to create our 20s. That's not what we're doing. We're creating something better in this season in our life. So listen, if this is resounding, just resonating with you, and it sounds exactly like what you needed, go ahead and hit that subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, because that's my focus, women over 40. And you know what? It also will help reach other women too on YouTube when you like and subscribe. So listen, I know it's easy to kind of focus on the diet culture and the quick fix diets, but it's not what's sustainable. And when you look at social media, I get it. You have all the filters, you see the women with the flat abs and all the things, but sometimes it's not even real, okay? So what we need to figure out is what's going to be sustainable for us in our day-to-day. What is real? You know what, sis? If you're feeling winded when you're walking up the steps, you know what I mean? Or, you have to look at that. Say, okay, look, I need to build myself up in that area. You waking up at 3 a.m., maybe your cortisol is off the charts. Looking in the mirror and you're still thinking about, oh, where did she go? You're still looking for that woman, that 20-year-old woman? No, that's not where we are right now. Okay? So what we want to do is not go focus on that. I hear this from women all the time. And, I've been there. But in this season, what is important is to focus on your health. And I mean, real foundational health. These are changes that honestly are bigger than focusing on the dress size or the scale. What we want to do is get to a point where we see our energy come back, right? That you're not crashing midday. You want your sleep. Think about how you would feel if your sleep just was deeper and you were waking up refreshed, right? What if your skin starts clearing up, your joints ache less, your mind feels sharp again? That's what we need to focus on. And then what you'll notice is that we can make changes so that our body works with us, right? And not against us. So let me tell you, there's so many examples, and I'll share a quick one. We had one lady, she, was doing all the fad diets, very busy, and what honestly started happening with some of them, she was gaining weight. So in some cases, she might lose a little bit, but then in some cases, she would gain more than what she lost right after because it wasn't sustainable. So listen, she started walking. She started adding more protein to breakfast, drinking more water, taking time to just kind of relax. And guess what happened? She started sleeping through the night. She started actually seeing the scale move, right, in the direction she was hoping, right? And these are the small changes you can make. but they're the small, sustainable changes that you can make. So that is what I'm teaching. And that's why I'm saying, listen, let's stop chasing the Hottie syndrome and start honoring healthy, really. And so let me be clear. I'm not saying lower your standards, okay? I'm really saying let's shift them. Let's shift our way of thinking. Instead of chasing perfection, let's build peace. All right. Instead of focusing on shrinking our bodies, let's talk about expanding life. Surviving, we don't want to just survive every day. We want to enjoy it. So listen, I want you to click the link below to save your seat in my free Hormone Reset Masterclass. And Unisense, I'll walk you through how to reset your metabolism, reset your hormones, and finally lose that, stubborn belly fat without counting calories or exhausting workouts. You're not too old. You're definitely not too far gone. You just overdue for a strategy that fits this season of life. You've taken care, and most of us women have. We've taken care of everybody else. Now it's your turn. So listen, keep showing up for you, and I will see you in the next video.